One important thing I've learned during these days is that I think that the answer lies within all of us. And I think that if we want to cooperate and solve a problem, we need to listen to each other. And maybe that's when we should learn from the kids and come together and play and make a setting where we're comfortable and we're joyful and we're maybe angry and we have, we get involved with our senses and feelings. And I think that's the best way to learn a thing, to be involved. So that's why I wrote that we should ask questions, because the answer might be in the hands of the young.
I strongly believe in implementing new media and Web 2.0 solutions in the educational system, so you can share all the great things that is already done in the classrooms today. Because I've seen it work, and I see that is actually made great stuff in the classrooms every day. So, and it's very motivating for the students to share and lift it up in a higher level than the everyday classroom.
I think there's a hole in the education system, because when you finish an education, when you're 16 years old or when you're something, you stand somewhere and you know a lot of things, and I think you can learn a lot in school about arts and craft and everything, but then how to be able to live of it someday, how to get out in the real life. I think there's not a really good connection between the school system, the educational system, and the real working life.
Find your passion, then you will have bigger opportunity to be creative. I think it's a good part of my education that I have to go at an internship. It's where we go and try the stuff we have been taught, if we can use it and how to use it, so it come like a normal day life before we end our education.
What I'm missing the most in the educational system is time and space. Give us time and space. I need time and space to try out my ideas, to make failures, and to be able to continue with the ideas that I have and the interests that I have, and not always being stopped by the boundaries of, like, no, the time is up.
And I was in this conference, I was a lot thinking about the economical side of the arts, because everything is measured by the money. So how can we be innovative and creative as long as they don't have the price tags?
Teach math in sandboxes. I think that schools and education you should put creativity in all education. People are urging people through the education system so they will be sooner out in the working market, so they can pay taxes and push up the economic growth and all that shit. It really doesn't matter.
I would encourage people to do something you haven't done before, because it might change you. And the other one is about entrepreneurship into the schools, and that you should experiment maybe with a Danish idea of the elite school, which has the recruitment is based both on skills, or like both on hard work and getting grades and working consistently, and or it could be a recommendation from your boss on how you've solved a practical task in the spur of the moment.
The education system should focus more on the interest of people. People, find you interesting when you show them interest. Kind of like, a two-way conversation or connecting, or whatever people like to call it. An example was given before today about, a writer coming to a literature class and talking about writing. It makes so much sense. People should, take into consideration what makes sense. When do people learn? When do people actually listen? When do people remember?
My message is to stimulate students and not lecture them, basically. And by lecture I mean any form of I'm the teacher and you're the student. Because also the role of how the system is built is that the teacher knows better than the students. And with that comes a fear of that the teacher has to know better than the student, which is not always the case when you're talking about creativity, because there's no right or wrong answer. You're talking about how your perception of things, and to do it as a test, and this is right and this is wrong. Well, there isn't an answer.
Instead of always having the same teachers, like going through the years of elementary school and high school, gymnasium, you could have artists that are actually have themselves been investing in themselves and teaching themselves how to be creative, how to be fresh and original, and have gone through professional education on how to be original. I would think that would be a great practical thing to have those people who have a profession of being interesting and being original to come to the school system and give a little examples of how to be fresh, how to be original, and also to stimulate the teachers and stimulate the students. Because I think what I put here is you can't teach creativity, but you can show examples of it. So you can't. You can't really expect people to be creative if they've never seen anything original in their life,
Yeah, it would be just so nice to have really many different people coming into the school system and just giving an example of what you can do in life. And if you could combine that with the learning of really making it like interesting and enthusiastic and really have real example of people who do things, I think people could get more interested about learning.